The time is just gone 9:32 as we continue with the broadcast this morning. Now, yesterday we've seen the declarations that were made at the BRICS summit where they spoke about conflict zones, they spoke about Palestine, they spoke about what's taking place in Africa, in Sudan, and in the Niger region, and one or two other areas. And it's just sad that. Sometimes there have been forgotten genocides, one of them being Kashmir, the other being Rohingya, where the world has now stopped talking about Rohingya. But we need to still keep this struggle alive, the struggle for justice for the Rohingyan people. 6 years on, this is the anniversary, and this is the reason why we are talking this morning with the co founder of the Free Rohingya Coalition based out in Germany, Nay San Lwin. Nay San, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Juma Mubarak to you, and we trust you're going to have a wonderful Juma ahead, inshallah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Juma Mubarak to you too. Thank you so much for having me here this morning.
Yes, 6 years on, and we still need to continue remembering the people of the Rohingyan people. And even today in South Africa, I see there is a special screening of a movie. It's called Wandering, a Rohingya Story. And Advocate Shabnam Mayat obviously has forwarded this to us, and apparently it is being screened this evening in memory of the Rohingya. And fortunately, the its actually tickets have all been sold out. So Alhamdulillah, there has been a huge interest in this event taking place in commemorating the Rohingya. And I'm sure on your side as well, a lot happening 6 years down the line, and particularly in terms of all the events that are being held.
Well, in Bangladesh camp, 10 of thousands of people, because this is the war largest refugee camp where more than a million Rohingya refugees are sheltered. So this morning, in every camp, 10 of thousands of this refugee gather and they commemorate this sixth anniversary of the Rohingya Genocide Remembrance Day, and they are seeking the justice because the justice is very much important for us because we have been facing all this injustice for more than 4 decades, and many thousand have been killed, and the military, the perpetrator in Myanmar, is enjoying the impunity, and because of there is no justice for us, they keep continuing committing the crime against us, and basically the genocide is still ongoing, and 600,000 people remaining in Myanmar are facing serious threat from this Myanmar military and other armed group in there. So, from the diaspora community, my colleague and myself are hosting the 4 events today. One is physical in Cologne, Germany, 3 online, and 3 different language in Burmese. In Burmese one, the National Unity Government, the Foreign Minister, and the Human Rights Minister, they join, and also the one of our organizer, my colleague, is Deputy Minister of the Human Rights Ministry. So we had the this morning Burmese section and the Rohingya section. In the evening, we will have the English section and the one physical in Cologne. So in the evening English section, some official from the U.S. State Department, like the Undersecretary and the Ambassador at large for the international religious freedom, and the UK Minister, and also possibly the Gambian Justice Minister also will join us, and also some other diplomat. So they will deliver their remark. Well, this really encouraging, it renew our hope, and also it motivate us while we are in the completely hopeless situation. At least we can hear something, and that there are some support from the government official, diplomat, and also the activist community. At least we hear something from them, but the actual situation is not changing at all. uh, you know that now these people are in the camp for 6 years. Nothing changed. The situation is worsening day by day, and the World Food Program (WFP) also recently cut the monthly allowance ration $12 from $12 to $8 per person. So it is it creates an extreme situation. Even the small children, like the 5 years old, are collecting the bottle and can to sell and buy some snack, to ease their hunger. So um, there are a lot of superpower country in West, also in North America, and also in the Middle East. But at least the Gambia took our case to the International Court of Justice, and there is a case at the International Criminal Court. There is also a case at the Argentina court filed by the Rohingya organization. So at least we are hoping that these three courts will deliver the justice for us. But going back to the our homeland is not possible at this time, because as long as the military rule the country, it's not possible for us, because this military is the main perpetrator, committed the genocide against us, and they have intent to wipe up the entire population. So under their administration, if we go back, we will face the same situation again, and the cycle of violence will repeat again.
Well, definitely, and we've seen even the human rights chief at the United Nations saying that making this call or reiterating the call for accountability and justice for the Rohingya people, and we know that all of this was done in the name of ethnic cleansing, and this obviously it's a positive statement, but again, I'm sure the Rohingya are actually tired of empty promises. The thing is, when you've got UN resolutions, it go absolutely nowhere. At the end of the day, we cannot allow the years to go by. It's 6 years already, and we cannot allow another year to go by without decisive action to support the justice and accountability for the people of Rohingya and the genocide that has been perpetrated against them.
Well, last year the U.S. determined the crime against the Rohingya as a genocide and the crime against humanity. The U.S. as the independent judiciary, they can establish the independent, ad court tribunal and try the perpetrator uh, from Myanmar, and also the all other country. Instead of they talk something like the UN Human Rights Council. UN is the largest organization in the world, and they if they want to do something they can do, but they are just giving us excuse that if they discuss anything at the UN Security Council, the China and the Russia will veto. But at least they should try at least once, see whether these two countries really will veto. But they never try. They have been talking outside all the time that about justice and the accountability, but they have done nothing yet. So we don't really want. I don't entertain the empty promise uh, that will not change our situation. We don't want something that they say and our situation remain unchanged. We really want to change the situation. We really want real help, real action, not just empty word.
Yes, and also, when one looks at the resources, and we know that there have been limited resources, and the support of Rohingya refugees is absolutely important. It's critical at this point in time, particularly the humanitarian assistance programs. You mentioned Bangladesh, we're talking about Cox's Bazar, and all of that. And while all of this is playing out, people are still suffering, and they're suffering in the worst possible manner, Nathan.
Well, when this my fellow brother and sister were in Myanmar, they faced several restrictions. Same like the apartheid condition, even when they travel from one town to one village to another, they need the special permission. To travel from one town to another is really difficult. It's like applying the US or the UK visa. Much difficult than applying those visa. So in Bangladesh, the same situation they are facing now. Yeah, even if they want to go from one camp to another, they need the permission from the authority, and there are small shop that just for the survival. Some refugee invested, and they are selling vegetable or whatever they can, small item. Those are also not allowed. There is no formal education for the young children, and there is no any vocational training or the college, any higher study for the youth. So this is like you just stay in this camp, get the ration from the WFP, and you just survive. This WFP ration reduction is really, it has the serious consequence. Uh, uh, there will be, like the children will face the malnutrition and many stuff. So uh, this is our fate. But like WFP said, they have the no fund, they are underfunding. That is why they cut the Russian allowance. So if we see, that the total amount of what they need is nothing for those powerful country, like for the, especially for the Eastern country, it's nothing, just like one some expenses for the one dinner. So but still this more than a billion are left out, and they are not getting any help.
Well, definitely. And, I mentioned that, we had this BRICS summit in South Africa, and we've had so much interest. We've seen over 40 heads of state that came out to South Africa. And one of the issues that they spoke about is they spoke about the conflict areas and the atrocities. And it's just very, very sad that the international community has actually failed in its responsibilities towards the Rohingya, because no mention even was made of the Rohingya, yet the worst atrocities were committed. You mentioned genocide, and it is officially known as a genocide that was carried out with impunity, that was carried out with brutality on this nation. And the world, even on a global stage like BRICS, fails to make mention even of the Rohingya people. And this is an indictment on the world in general.
Well, yes. Let me tell you one small example. There are the 152 country. They are the signatory of the Genocide Convention. Why the Gambia has had to file the case as the ICJ? Why not the other country? Those powerful in the West and the Middle East, or North America. So another one thing, when it comes to this Ukraine, also not the signatory of the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Code, and within 48 hours, 42 countries refer the situation of the Ukraine to the International Criminal Code. We have been asking the world to refer our situation to the International Criminal Code. No one has done. The case at the We have a case at the International Criminal Code. It was done by the ICC prosecutor. So we basically, we got some humanitarian aid from the West, and nothing more than that.
Well, definitely, and it's actually very, very sad. But I'm glad that you took the time out this morning, Nathan, to come out and talk to us. And we will still continue at Salam Media. We've obviously given a lot of coverage, and we will continue giving coverage, because these are genocides that never ever should be erased. It should never ever be forgotten, and that is the reason why we are talking with you 6 years down the line. And from time to time, we need to continue highlighting the plight of the Rohingyan people. But for now, we thank you. We say shukran, jazakallah to you for your time. We wish you well in the events as well, in the commemoration events as well. And hopefully, we will be talking once again in the not too distant future. But for now, all the best to you. Have yourself a great Friday, a great Jummah, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Nay San Lwin with us, co-founder of the Free Rohingya Coalition based out in Germany. And with that, we're going to go for a break. We come back. It's Women in Media with Salam Media. This morning, we're featuring Safira Kaka, presenter at CII Radio.